Hello everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday, cloudy, partly sunny afternoon here in central Illinois, and I'm Amy Blue with Once in a Blue Moon, coming to show you, teach you how to do this new bracelet that actually it's not a new, well, it's a new bracelet, but the technique is not new. So I did find these beautiful Malaysia Jade dyed quartz beads. These came from Bead Box Bargain, and like I said, they're 8mm dyed quartz, and the color that they're in is magenta. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that deep, rich color. And I did a little bit of researching and found that one of the good color combos with the magenta is Aventurine, which is this green, beautiful green color cube bead that I have right here. And I also found these medallions on Amazon. They came in a package of 100, and there's, as you can see, there's all different kinds of designs in here. Let your imagination go crazy. And I've attached it to this little guy here, which again, I'm still trying to find the exact name of it, but I'll call it a tube with a jump ring on the bottom. Okay, we're going to use that to put on the bracelet and hide our knot, because the hole itself is big enough to do that. So I have got my beads all set out the way that I want to string them, and of course we're going to pre-stretch our elastic, which is always a good idea to do. I'm using the Ninja Cord 5mm, and you can find this on the website called Mellori, MELLORIE.com, and they sell this. It's one of the best elastic cords that I've found, and my sister is the one who found it and told me about it, so I'm using this. There are all different kinds out there that you can get. So I'm also going to put on one of my best friends whenever I'm stringing, called a bead buddy. And you can find these little springy guys. You can find them at any craft store. You can find them on Amazon. And these will become your best friends, because I can't tell you how many times I haven't had anything on there, and I inadvertently pull the cord, pull the wire, and everything goes tumbling down. My husband knows that sound well. He's constantly helping me pick up beads when I don't use this thing. So like I said, it'll become your best friend. So you want to put it on the end of your elastic. It doesn't matter how far you go in. I've got this measured out at about 14 inches, and I only need a 7.25 to 7.25 to 7.5 inch bracelet. So that's going to give me plenty of overhang to be able to tie my knot comfortably. So we're going to go ahead and put our charm on our elastic and just let that fall down. It's not going to go anywhere with that bead buddy on there. And then I'm going to start stringing. Now, like I have said, there are people that love, people that love to use a needle when they do this. For me, it's just easier to string it on one at a time like this by hand. And again too, when you're looking to see what size of elastic to use, you're going to want to make sure that the elastic will go all the way easily through your bead, just like it is on this one. I never used to think that made a difference when I was first starting out. I would just buy it, buy the elastic or whatever, and not, well, there went one. I'll pick that up later. And I never paid attention, but then I started realizing, hey, you're going to save a lot of time and effort if you check out and make sure that the cord that you use, that the elastic that you use is actually going to fit through your bead with no issue. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get these strung on. And again too, you don't have to necessarily go out and buy beads every time that you want to make something, you're gonna, if you start deciding that you really want to do this, this started out as a fun thing for me to do, and it quickly turned into an obsession where I have to make something. When I was working, I used to literally get up in the morning if I didn't have any earrings that I wanted to wear with whatever outfit I was wearing that day. I would rummage through my stash and I'd literally make a pair of earrings in about 5 minutes, so that I could wear them to work. So, I mean, it is so much fun. For me, it's very relaxing, and I don't know, some people say it's tedious, they can't do it. It's just whatever makes you happy. I mean, if this makes you happy, if you like making things for other people, which I do, what makes you happy, not only by making it, but seeing the look on their face when you know that they love it, that is a great feeling. So that's just one of the many reasons I do this. And plus I have a very patient husband who indulges me and doesn't really say too much when I want to go buy beads. So that's a good thing too. So here we go. We're almost done with stringing our project here. Got a couple more after this one, and then we'll be ready to tie it up. I've also got a pair of earrings to make to go with this. I've got one already made, and we'll make the other to show you how that works. Okay, we've got our pattern. Everything's ready to go for the knots. So I'm going to take off my bead buddy. I'm going to measure up my elastic here. Pretty much make sure that it's even. I want to make sure I've got movement in the beads. You don't want it too tight, because if you get this stuff too tight, it will cause things to break and it just won't lay right. So to do my knot, I'm going to go one under the other, pull it, put my finger in the middle, and do an overhand knot. If my fingers will cooperate today. Let's see here. There we go. Pull that through, down to the elastic, and pull tight. Okay, so I've got one knot, and I want to make it stronger. So in order to do that, I'm going to make what's called a surgical knot. You've probably already heard that term. So I take my two ends of my elastic. Again, I'm going to go one over the other, go under and through the loop, but I'm not going to pull it tight yet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go under again. Here we go. And that creates, okay, yeah, it does. It creates a knot. Let's see. Let me get it here. This should go on a blooper reel. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's one, and there's two. And since I've got the two underneath, then I go ahead and pull tight and pull my cord, pull my elastic tight. So here you see I have my knot next to in between the bead and the charm. I'm going to take my flush cutters. I'm going to try and get as close as I can to that knot without cutting the knot. I think I need some new cutters. Here we go. Come on. There. That's garbage. I've got my knot. I've cut that, and it will go right in to the charm tube. I think I might make a new name, charm tube. I'll call it that for until I can find the professional name for it. But there you go. Here's the bracelet. We'll put it on. There's what it looks like on the top, and then of course underneath you have your charm. Okay, and when you take it off, you want to roll, not stretch, and that'll keep your elastic from stretching out too. Okay, so we've got the bracelet done. Let's go on to the earrings. I have another medallion. I have an Aventurine cube bead. I have my 2-inch eye pin, and I have my earring back, my ear wire, or fish hook is what they're called. So I'm going to go ahead with my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to open my loop, pulling away from myself, never out, because that will weaken the loop. And you do that for your jump rings as well. I put that on and close it up, making sure that it's all the way closed. Got a little bit more here. There we go. Let's straighten out my pin. There we have that. I'll put my cube on. You can put as many beads on here as you want, making sure that you leave enough room to make your loop. But I just wanted it simple with just the 1 cube bead. Okay, then I take my needle nose. I'm gonna move it to a 90-degree angle. Sometimes you can move these with your fingers. Sometimes, like with stainless steel pins, it's too hard and you have to use a tool in order to get it to bend. I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch. I found at the end of my forefinger that's roughly 1/4 of an inch, which makes it easy to measure for me so I can eyeball it. I clip that off, get rid of the excess, maybe save it for making some jump rings at some point. Get my round nose pliers, take the edge of it, making sure that there's nothing on top. That seems to, for some reason, make the loop really wonky. I turn it in to itself until it meets again, and then there we have our loop. Now sometimes if I think about it, I can leave that loop open and go ahead and put my ear wire on there, but today I opted to put it on separately. So I've got my ear wire in my one hand. I take my pliers and turn it away, take my earring, put it on, and close the loop. I'm going to have to close that a little bit better so that it meets. There we go. Okay, and there we have our earring. I went ahead and did one up ahead of time. So now you can see how pretty that looks, and it goes really nice with the bracelet. Yeah, that came out good. I like that. You know, you can make any combination of whatever you like as far as beading that you choose, whatever. I like to go to, I've been to estate sales before and garage sales, and I went ahead and I seem to just gravitate to the jewelry where if they have any for sale, and I pick through that and maybe find some things that I really like. The vintage stuff is really big. It's been big for a long while now, and it's still big now. And the thing is, what's a vintage now is when I was in high school. So from the 70s, you know, it's okay. That's considered vintage now, which is fine with me. I like all that stuff. So anything from the 70s, 80s, 90s, or even before then, they consider vintage. So just let your imagination run wild. Don't let anyone put you in a box when you're trying to create things like this. Just let your imagination run. And that's the joy in it. That's freedom to be able to do that. So I did want to tell you though about this dyed, these dyed beads, these dyed quartz or dyed jade. You want to, these are ways that you can take care of them and they will last longer for you over time. You want to avoid direct sunlight. You want to store your finished jewelry in a dark drawer or a pouch because UVs can break down the dye. You want to keep them away from chemicals. You want to take them off whenever you're going to be taking a shower, whenever you're going to be working with any kind of chemical at all, like when you're cleaning. You want to take them off before you go swimming or before you put on any perfume and lotion. When you clean them, you want to wipe the beads gently off with a damp microfiber cloth. And you don't ever want to use steam or ultrasonic cleaners. You want to dry them completely. Moisture can lift or bleed the dye on lower quality treatments. Everything that I've ever had has been high quality. The ones I get from Beadbox Bargains do not bleed, which is really good. But if that you want to, don't take any chances. Just, make sure that they're dried completely and just store them away after they're completely dry. So this is finishing up our video for today for this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment box for me, and because I appreciate every single one. I'm still really new at this, and I appreciate the feedback. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I hope that you'll join me for the next one. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye.